I've got a rare artifact tier list I just put together. We're going to do an epic tier list tomorrow and a legendary tier list after that. There's some really cool rare artifacts that work very different than the way you would think they'd work, and you get a free rare artifact on day 2. I'm on day 2, chapter 4. Right here, once you complete it, get this artifact. It's actually, I think, the strongest DPS artifact from all my testing. It really is the strongest one. And we've got a few new artifacts to go over as well, so we'll talk about all those. You can test everything at the test dummy. If you don't know this, come into the test dummy. You can go over here to the drill training grounds, and then you can set this up for any kind of time you want and just do damage numbers and see what kind of damage you get with the different artifacts. So if you level them up to like max level or level 4, you can get an idea of what they do. That's what I've done on the test server. That's what I'll continue to do so I can get those numbers out to you. I'm going to jump on the test server after this video because I have to level it up. And once I level it up to where I can get to the test dummy, it's a brand new account, then I will max everything out and get those numbers out to you on this document down below. But I've already tested these. I tested these like 2 months ago. That doesn't mean things haven't changed, but they should be pretty accurate. If you don't know how to get artifacts, you have to get to rank level 3. Once you get to rank level 3, you can equip an artifact right here, and then you can level it up with the resources you get from getting duplicate heroes. And the way you get artifacts is from getting duplicate heroes. Once you get a duplicate rare, you'll see these 2 resources you get, and then come over here to the exchange shop, and you'll see all the rare artifacts. And then you'll see the epics and the legendaries. To get an epic, you have to get a duplicate epic. And I did get a duplicate epic, so I have 5. Every duplicate epic you get, you can get 1 epic artifact. So it's not too bad. You get a lot of purple dice, you're gonna get duplicates. Legendaries, that's a whole different story. You have to get a duplicate legendary. And even I don't have that yet. So that's long term. So we need to know what rare artifacts are gonna work out for you right now, and then the epic ones will do tomorrow. The rare ones are really easy, and there's some very, very strong ones. Let's go over to my list, and then we'll go back to look at them in the game. But right now I wanna give you an idea of what I think is SS tier and why they're this way. And then these down here at the bottom here are very, very different. The success rate to inflict buffs and debuffs is not what you think it is. And I need to explain that to you because this can make a major difference on your account when you're leveling up. Here are all kind of the DPS ones. We've got attack with attack percentage, attack with attack speed, defense with attack, attack with HP percentage. We've got, I guess that's supposed to be HP with attack percentage and not DP. Attack with accuracy, and the wearer gains 35% enlightenment. I did some damage numbers for these first 3s. I put my main character right now in against the target dummy. He doesn't have a 100% chance to crit, and these are the numbers I got. So the quiver is doing the most damage, just like it was doing back in beta. Now, back in beta, when I test this on the test dummy, I have a 100% chance to crit. Whenever you have a 100% chance to crit in this game, you will always do the same amount of damage. When you hit something, it will always be the same amount of damage. You're going to 100% chance to crit. There's no variation in damage, so it's really easy to find out which of these artifacts are benefiting us the most. And this is for early game. We'll talk about other variations of some of these artifacts because some of these artifacts are meant for different heroes that have different abilities. Okay, to explain that is, this is a basic attack has a 30% to launch lightning damage. This is the one we get for free. Go to chapter 4, make sure you complete it. Grab this one and put your resources into leveling up this one because it costs resources to level these artifacts and you cannot reset these. You can't get these resources back, so you want to be careful with what you level up. Will you get more resources? You will over time, and you'll find these resources in the wild, but still you want to be mindful of what artifacts you level up. So as far as damage goes, attack plus attack percentage, along with getting this basic proc of damage, this lightning damage is the strongest one out there. Now the labyrinth one here, whenever you do a basic attack, you get 3% attack for only 3 seconds. And it can stack up to 10 times, but to stack it up that high, you would have to be doing a basic attack really often. And if you know the Dauntless characters, if you look at Dauntless, pretty much all of their abilities count as basic attacks. Even still, it's going to be hard to get up to 10 till later on in the game when you have really high attack speed. So this might actually, and I'm sure it will, on a Dauntless hero, this will do more damage in the long run. Once we're able to get really high attack speed, we can put this horn on them instead of the Elven Quiver and we'll get more damage. But also the Elven Quiver procs this additional damage off of a basic attack. So if we're using Dauntless again, who all their moves are basic attacks, and you're really having high attack speed, this could start doing some really good damage as well. Maybe even outpace this one, and I'll test that out. But that's all about Dauntless. But if it's not somebody that's doing basic attacks all the time, This one still is doing the most damage, the Elven Quiver. The Dancing Gyro is gain additional 25% attack speed. The reason why I think this one falls off, the additional attack speed is really good, but we just have attack and defense. We don't have an additional attack percentage plus flat attack. So it falls a little behind. You get some more survivability, but it's a little behind. But something like this, where you gain an additional 25% attack speed, if you have a hero that after 3 attacks removes a buff from the enemy, you might want to put this on that. That way they have faster attack speed. They're attacking on their basic way more often, and they'll be doing that passive ability to remove a buff if they have something special like that. The Ancestral Bone here increases critical damage by 25%. Now, this is only S-class if you have really high crit. And it's pretty easy to get really high crit later on. But right now, it's not going to be good, right? If you have 25% critical damage and your crit rate is 10%, you're not going to crit very often. So this critical damage does nothing for you. So now, early game, even into mid game, I don't think the Ancestor's Bone is good for anyone. So don't try to focus on that one. The Volcanic Disc is okay. You get attack percentage plus, I believe this is supposed to be HP. Let me change that. But with that, it only increases your ultimate skill damage by 15%. Well, all this other stuff up here with the additional attack percentage, you're going to increase your ultimate damage just from these stats alone. And then you're going to get all this additional damage just doing your basic abilities. You don't even need to worry about when the ultimate comes around. If you have a really big ultimate, I can't remember what one it was, what hero it was. I had this hero that had this huge ultimate where I just wanted to kill somebody and I wanted to make sure that they would die in arena. I gave them this 15% additional for that ultimate ability because it hits so hard. Even still, it's hard to say whether, it's better than some of these others. But just keep that in mind. The Volcanic Disc isn't that amazing. You get some survivability, you get the attack percentage, and then the ultimate ability, which happens usually for most heroes 23 seconds to 20 seconds, 15% additional damage just on that hit alone isn't as good as having all this other damage, because your basic attacks that you don't really see, they're not the fancy ones, do a lot of damage. And then you have your skill, your battle skills, and then you have your ultimate ability in there. The Meditator's Pipe is SS when you're a poison class. You're going to get Enlightenment, which actually Enlightenment helps out with a lot of healing, but it helps out with poison damage as well. And this has accuracy on it. So this is not a healing artifact. This isn't for you to get a little more Enlightenment on some of your healers' moves and then to give them accuracy and attack for some reason. These are for poison class. And I put it as a poison class SS because you're getting that accuracy so you can apply your poisons, and then you're getting increased poison damage. I need to test it. And you get attack, which helps out with your damage as well. I still need to test this Meditator's Pipe against something like the Elven Hunter's Quiver, even on a poison hero. But I'm pretty sure with that increased accuracy, because we got to land the poisons, otherwise we're not doing that damage. So the increased accuracy with attack and the Enlightenment is everything you need for a poison class. So only for that it's an SS. Down here we've got more of the support ones. We get the defense HP, increase your healing by 15%. Healing class, right? Throw that on any of your healers. The Troll Heart, where you get defense and resistance and you gain 25% max HP, put that on your tank. Troll Heart on somebody like Horus that we get for our 3-day login. He puts a regen on himself. He gets shields when he's hit, like a 10% max HP shield whenever he's hit. I can't remember the percentage, but he's really tanky. He's really good, and this benefits him a lot. Here you can kind of do the same thing with the Banner of the Oath, but you have to have somebody next to you. And the way that your characters always move around the board, this one to me isn't the best. I've used this one quite a bit because you get flat defense and you get HP percentage. Great for a tank, great for survivability to mitigate damage and to be more absorption, right? To have higher HP pool. And then you get this 25% defense, which sounds amazing. But the way that the heroes move sometimes, I feel like it's not working. I feel like it just says, like, I don't even understand where it says allies around them. How many allies do I need around me to make sure it's working? So I was always suspect on this one. So I've got it as an A, maybe an S. If you can keep people around you, then it would be very beneficial for your tank or somebody you just want to keep alive, even a healer that you need to keep alive. The Lunar Harp here and the Arrow are very different than what you would think. Let me explain this. You get a success rate to inflict your buffs and debuffs from your ultimate ability or from your skill. There's a lot of heroes, especially a lot of rare heroes, when you don't have books into them, there's only a 75% chance for them to throw out a spell, not try to apply the spell. So you have a 75% chance to do decrease attack. That means when you cast that ability, there's a 25% chance you won't even try to do decrease attack on the enemy. So at a 75% chance, if you hit that, you're going to try to apply decrease attack. And then it goes off of your accuracy to their resistance, whether you're going to land it or not. This artifact, these two artifacts actually increase your chance to launch that skill, to try to activate that ability. They're not there to try to land it. They're not there trying to increase your accuracy, trying to increase your ability to actually apply that decrease attack. They're making it so when you cast your skill and you don't have skill books in there and it's at a 75%, you can increase it by 15%. So you're more likely to do that ability. And it's really important to do that because some of these you need to land on the bosses so you'll survive. You need to get that decrease attack or heal block, a lot of the other abilities they have. This is actually the way it works. I've tested this with somebody at 75% chance to activate something, and I had the epic one up to a 25% chance, and they were always 100% chance activating it, trying to apply it with my accuracy to the resistance. I hope I explained that properly, but this can be extremely strong, especially in the beginning when you have something that you don't have skill books into. So this can be really good, and it has accuracy with it. So that's going to help you apply whatever kind of debuff you're doing. And I think there was somebody out there that had, I can't remember the character, had not 100% chance to do some kind of buff. And then with this, you actually increase that chance for them to apply those buffs whenever they cast that skill. So these can be really, really good in the right situation. They're only S here if you need that. If you really need to apply it, if you get stuck on a boss and you just see some kind of video done and it works, as long as you're always getting that debuff up, then later on. But right now, I don't think you need to focus on these right now. Once we get to bosses and we start working on taking down these bosses to get epic gear, legendary gear, then we can talk more about these artifacts. So I have them as S only because what they do is very powerful. But right now, let's not try to focus on them. Let's go with the damage ones, the survivability ones for your healers to do more healing, your tanks to tank better, mitigate more damage, survive, and then do the damage we need to do with our DPSers. Now, these down here are absolute garbage artifacts to me. We've got the Traveler's Headband that has defense and HP. Okay, that's good, but they only reduce damage taken when you're controlled, when you're stunned, frozen, slept, those kind of things. Well, I don't know when that happens. I don't know where I need this artifact at that point to be able to negate 25% damage taken when I'm controlled. So I think that's pretty bad compared to all these other ones. I just don't know a situation where we need this. I think it's going to be very, very niche to do that. And we'll talk about that if that ever comes up. If there's a boss out there that we need this on, we'll talk about that then. The Stone Skin one gives you HP plus defense percentage and then starts you off with an HP shield, a max HP shield only for 15%. Well, why would I want to start off with a max HP shield when I can start off with 20% additional HP, overall HP, and I'm getting defense and resistance? Yeah, here you are getting defense and HP, flat HP, but here you're getting defense and HP, the damage reduction. This one gives you defense and HP, but it increases your healing. This one gives us defense and HP, but we gain defense when we're around somebody. So I don't see the need to go defense and HP and just start off with the shield. I think those are really bad. So I would not focus on those. Get these artifacts on all these heroes that are rank 3 and above. So this is my day 2. I'm still working on doing a few things here day 2, but it's going pretty well. That's it for the rare artifacts. If you have any questions, ask me down below. I hope this helps you out. Let me know what rare artifact you're enjoying. Appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, guys, and I will see you all in a video soon.